모두가 끝을 말할 때 나는 희망을 말한다.
When everyone talks about the end, I speak about hope.
The first part. When everyone talks about the end means that others are discussing or focusing on the conclusion or something negative, like an ending. It uses talks about because that's the most common phrase when describing what people are saying. I speak about hope follows this by showing that, in contrast to others, you choose to focus on hope, which represents something positive or optimistic. Speak about is a natural way to say that you are discussing a particular topic.
While others speak of the end, I choose to speak of hope.
Here, while others speak of the end introduces the contrast using while, which makes it clear that your perspective is different from everyone else's. Speak of is slightly more formal and poetic than talk about. Then, I choose to speak of hope emphasizes that it's your conscious decision to focus on hope. The phrase, I choose to, makes it more intentional, showing that you're deliberately choosing hope.
As people talk about the end, I focus on hope. As people talk about the end is another way to set the scene, using as to indicate when something is happening. People is used instead of everyone to make it sound a bit more general. Then, instead of I talk about hope, this version uses I focus on hope, which suggests that you are directing your attention and energy toward hope. This makes the statement stronger, showing that you are not just talking about hope, but actively concentrating on it.
그가 20년 전에 꾸었던 꿈을 그는 이루어냈다.
He achieved the dream he had 20 years ago.
Let's break this down. The phrase, he achieved the dream, is straightforward. Achieved means that he successfully reached a goal or fulfilled something. Next, the dream he had specifies what dream we're talking about. Using had indicates that this dream is from the past. Finally, 20 years ago clearly sets the time frame, making it clear when this dream was conceived.
The dream he dreamed 20 years ago was achieved by him.
Here we start with the dream he dreamed, which emphasizes that this was something he envisioned. Using dreamed is a bit more poetic, making it sound more expressive. Next, 20 years ago again sets the time frame. The phrase was achieved by him shifts the focus slightly to how it's a completed action, emphasizing that he is the one who accomplished it. This structure gives it a slightly different emphasis compared to the other sentences. 그는 자기 관리에 철저한 사람이다.
He is a person who is diligent about self-management. In this sentence, he is a person introduces the subject clearly. It establishes that we're talking about an individual. The phrase, who is diligent about, means that he puts in effort and is careful regarding something. Self-management refers to how he takes care of his own responsibilities and well-being. This sentence emphasizes both his identity and his approach to managing himself.
He is meticulous when it comes to personal management.
Here, he is meticulous means that he pays great attention to detail, which conveys a strong sense of thoroughness. The phrase, when it comes to, is a common way to introduce the specific area of focus. Personal management refers to how he handles his own tasks and responsibilities. This version highlights his careful nature in managing himself.
He takes self-management very seriously.
In this sentence, he takes implies an active engagement with the concept of self-management. Self-management is the same term we've used before, referring to how he handles his personal affairs. The phrase very seriously emphasizes the importance he places on it, suggesting that he prioritizes it in his life. This version focuses on his attitude towards self-management rather than just describing him as a person. 지금도 그는 2시간의 공연을 거뜬히 소화한다.
He still handles that 2-hour performance with ease. Starting with he still handles, this shows that even now, he is capable of managing something that may be challenging. That 2-hour performance refers to a specific event or show that lasts for 2 hours. Finally, with ease means that he does it without difficulty, suggesting confidence and skill in managing the performance.
Even now, he can easily get through a 2-hour performance.
The phrase even now emphasizes that despite time or changes, he continues to do this. He can easily get through means that he manages or completes the performance without any struggle. A 2-hour performance again refers to the event's duration and easily highlights how it's not a challenge for him.
He's still more than capable of pulling off a 2-hour performance.
He still indicates that he retains his ability over time. More than capable is a strong way to say that he has the skill or stamina needed. Pulling off is an informal phrase meaning to successfully complete something, and a 2-hour performance identifies what he is achieving. This version adds a sense of confidence in his abilities. 그의 스타일은 지금도 현대적이다.
His style is still modern today. His style is still modern today. Starting with his style, we're focusing on the way he presents himself, whether it's in fashion, design, or general aesthetics. Is still modern means that despite time passing, his style remains contemporary and up to date. Today reinforces that even in the present time, his style fits with current trends.
Even now, his style feels modern. Even now, his style feels modern.
Even now emphasizes that despite any changes or trends over the years, his style hasn't fallen out of touch. His style feels modern suggests that there's something about the way he presents himself that aligns with current tastes or designs. Using feels adds a slightly more subjective touch, suggesting that his modernity is noticeable to others.
His style continues to be modern. His style continues to be modern.
This version uses continues to be to show that his style has maintained its modern edge over time. It implies consistency and relevance, with modern once again meaning that his look or approach fits with today's standards or trends. The structure makes it clear that this is an ongoing characteristic of his style. 그가 젊음을 유지하는 것이 부러울 따름이다.
I can't help but be envious of how he maintains his youth. This starts with I can't help but, which is a common way to express that something is difficult to avoid feeling. Be envious of means you feel a bit of jealousy or admiration for something someone else has. How he maintains his youth describes the way he stays young or youthful, making it clear what exactly you admire about him.
It's hard not to feel jealous of him for staying so young.
It's hard not to is another way of saying that it's difficult to avoid a particular feeling. Feel jealous of him expresses the idea that you wish you could have what he has, youthfulness in this case. For staying so young adds more emphasis on his ability to remain youthful over time.
I'm just envious that he manages to stay young.
I'm just envious is a more direct way to say you feel jealousy or admiration. That he manages to stay young focuses on his ability to keep or preserve his youthful appearance or energy. This version is more casual but still communicates the idea of admiration mixed with envy. 나는 그가 50주년이 되어도 여전히 노래와 춤을 출 수 있으면 좋겠다.
I hope he can still sing and dance when the 50th anniversary comes. I hope he can still sing and dance when the 50th anniversary comes. Starting with I hope, you're expressing a desire or wish. He can still sing and dance means that you want him to be able to continue these activities. When the 50th anniversary comes sets the time frame for this wish, meaning you're thinking about a specific future milestone.
It would be wonderful if he could keep singing and dancing even on the 50th anniversary. It would be wonderful if he could keep singing and dancing even on the 50th anniversary.
It would be wonderful if expresses a stronger sense of hope or optimism. He could keep singing and dancing emphasizes his continued ability to perform these activities. Even on the 50th anniversary highlights the idea that despite reaching such a long passage of time, you hope he can still enjoy doing these things.
I'd love for him to be able to sing and dance, even after 50 years. I'd love for him to be able to sing and dance, even after 50 years.
I'd love for him to shows a personal, strong wish or hope for someone else. Be able to sing and dance focuses on his ability to do those activities. Even after 50 years reinforces that you hope he can still maintain this energy and ability long into the future. 나는 그를 보고 또 많은 사람들이 같은 꿈을 꿀 수 있으면 좋겠다.
I hope that by seeing him, many others can be inspired to dream the same dream. I hope that by seeing him, many others can be inspired to dream the same dream. Starting with, I hope that, you're expressing a desire for something to happen. By seeing him explains that his actions or achievements could serve as motivation. Many others can be inspired indicates that you're hoping other people will be influenced by him. To dream the same dream means that others will aspire to reach similar goals or have the same ambitions.
It would be wonderful if watching him could encourage others to pursue the same dream. It would be wonderful if watching him could encourage others to pursue the same dream.
It would be wonderful if is a strong way to express a wish or hope. Watching him means that his actions are visible to others and potentially impactful. Could encourage others implies that you hope his example motivates other people. To pursue the same dream means you want them to follow similar aspirations.
I'd love for people to see him and feel inspired to chase the same dream. I'd love for people to see him and feel inspired to chase the same dream.
I'd love for expresses a personal and strong desire. People to see him means that his actions or presence could have a broader impact. And feel inspired suggests that others would be motivated by his example. To chase the same dream conveys the hope that they will aim for similar goals or ambitions. 나는 무대에서 그의 땀에 젖은 모습이 너무 보기 좋았다.
I loved seeing him on stage, drenched in sweat. I loved seeing him on stage, drenched in sweat. Starting with I loved, you're expressing a strong positive feeling or admiration. Seeing him on stage describes where you saw him and emphasizes the visual aspect. Drenched in sweat highlights the intensity and effort he put into his performance, which adds to why you admired what you saw.
It was amazing to watch him on stage, soaked in sweat. It was amazing to watch him on stage, soaked in sweat.
It was amazing shows admiration, expressing how impressive the sight was to you. To watch him on stage places him in the spotlight, emphasizing that this was a live performance. Soaked in sweat highlights how much effort he put into the performance, making it more intense and appealing.
I really enjoyed seeing him perform on stage, covered in sweat. I really enjoyed seeing him perform on stage, covered in sweat.
I really enjoyed conveys a strong sense of pleasure or satisfaction from watching him. Seeing him perform on stage focuses more on his actions during the performance, suggesting that his effort added to your enjoyment. Covered in sweat describes the visible result of his hard work, which you found impressive. 그는 타고난 재능에 항상 노력하는 사람이다.
He is someone with natural talent who always puts in the effort. Starting with he is someone with natural talent, this describes that he has abilities that come easily to him. Who always puts in the effort shows that despite having talent, he works hard to improve and achieve more.
He's got a gift, but he's also constantly working hard.
He's got a gift is a casual way of saying he has a natural talent. But he's also constantly working hard emphasizes that, in addition to his talent, he never stops trying to improve or work harder.
He was born with talent, yet he's always pushing himself.
He was born with talent means his abilities come naturally. Yet he's always pushing himself highlights that, despite his natural gifts, he doesn't rest on them and is always striving for more.